Hey, so what's up folks, this is Hawa. Are you guys ready to dive into some AITA posts with me? Get ready, because this is gonna get juicy. Without further ado, let's dive into it. AITA for taking away my family's gifts, because of something I overheard? Context. Me, 31M, and my long-term boyfriend, 30M, bought a house together last June. I have a big family, with 8 cousins, and around 20 nieces and nephews, and I'm the oldest of my generation. I also have a pretty high-paying job, and so does my boyfriend. My boyfriend hasn't had any contact with his family for over a decade and has been coming to my family celebrations since before we were dating. Within my family, I am known to be a bit of a splurger with gifts, and the kids are always excited for my gifts because they're usually big things like Lego sets and things of the sort. Now with the story, so today, or yesterday I guess, my family held a pre-Christmas celebration since we will not be able to meet up anytime this year after this week. It was held at me and my boyfriend's new house, the first family event we've had here. My boyfriend really wanted to take part in the gift giving, so went all out with gifts, spending an average of $100 per person. He was so excited to give everyone their presents since we spent not only money but also a lot of time picking everything for everyone. The festivities were a hit and my boyfriend and I stepped away for a bit to have some quiet time together. While we were resting on the stairs, we overheard my cousin, 17F, chatting with my niece, 15F. They were joking around about a few family members and mentioned my boyfriend and how he was too gay to function. Honestly, we didn't mind it too much. It's a movie reference and they're kids. But then another cousin, 24M, came in and began making harsher jokes, which the kids laughed at. These jokes brought my boyfriend to tears and I refused to let that slide. When the gift trading began, I took the 3 aside and let them know that I wasn't happy with their comments and that they weren't okay to say. I told them to apologize to my boyfriend because it was unfair to him and they refused because they were just jokes that we weren't meant to hear. I told them I didn't care and they had to apologize. They refused again and I told them that since they don't respect him they don't deserve the presents we got for them. This got them to backtrack and say they'd apologize, but I told them it was too late but they should still apologize. This is where I think I might have been too harsh. The youngest of my cousins told her mum, my aunt, that I was refusing to give her and the other 2 their presents and she was angry about it. She told the parents of my niece and the male cousin's dad and partner about it and all of them made a huge fuss. Me and my sister kicked them out and when they tried to grab their presents, before leaving I stopped them and rushed them out the door. The whole thing fell apart after that and it all ended very abruptly. So, AITA for kicking them out and taking away their gifts over jokes. AITA for refusing to help care for my former stepmother? My former stepmother, my late father's widow, is terminally ill. I have not seen her since his death 7 years ago. I kept minimal contact with my half-siblings, 15 and 16, through her, but not closely either. My relationships with them were complicated and I do not care for the woman at all. My former stepmother's brother contacted me and told me she needs someone to take care of her now and it should not fall on my half-siblings and cannot fall on him as he lives in another state. Her condition is terminal and they believe she has less than a year left. I was told by her brother that I should take responsibility for helping to care for her, given she was my stepmother for many years of my life and she is the mother to the 2 kids I should be willing to take in once she has passed. He told me refusing to care for their mother is going to permanently end my relationship with them. For those wondering about background, my mom and my former stepmother were very close friends and before my mom's death, my former stepmother and father betrayed her by carrying out an affair. I overheard the fight when my mom found out the truth. Once my mom had passed, my former stepmother decided to create a huge scene at my mom's funeral and insulted my mom's parents and insulted her sisters for saying my former stepmother had no place at the funeral. She tried to say as my future stepmother and my mom's closest friend she would always have a place. I called her names that day. She told me I would regret it one day. That day has never come, but she did revel in telling me all my mom's flaws after she and my dad married. I never saw Dad the same way either. But he refused to let the relationship go completely and did his best to maintain contact once I left his house. He died when I was 20. I told him I would not care for his sister, and I made it very clear to him that I was not going to make her end of life any easier than she made my mom's. My half-siblings called me and told me their mom was asking for me and they were scared and wanted me to be there at the end. They said she needs someone to help her and they can only do so much with school, that they hate leaving her alone. I told them I was sorry and I knew what it was like to watch your mom slowly fade, but that I was not the one to do it. My half-brother asked if I didn't love her at all after all this time. I said no. He told me to stay the hell away then and from them as well. My father's sister heard about all that happened and she told me I should be more mature than that and I should be more loving and compassionate to my half-siblings. She told me I should love them more than I hate their mom and agree to care for her to make their next year a lot less stressful. When I refused, she called me a cruel and selfish person and she told me I was behaving like the very person I hated the most.